Hello, neighbors. How are you guys? Hopefully good. So, just to introduce myself, my name is Lauren O'Leary, and I am one of the two Houston mayoral candidates. Lived here for a little over 2.5 years. So, not long ago, well, maybe about 8 months or so, I started showing a little bit more interest in the community, and I wanted to learn a lot. And I met some great folks who had been here for a really long time and started kind of, giving me the history of Houston. And so then I decided that perhaps I would have a lot of asset to bring to the city. Um, I have two children. I've been married for almost 12 years. And we love Houston. We found Houston. We absolutely loved it. So we were here. So a couple of things that I would like to really see happen that I think would better our community. One would be transparency. So what I mean by that is one thing that really bothers me about our council meetings is typically you speak at the beginning and then the topic is brought to the table and our council members maybe discuss it for maybe 2 minutes and then it's a vote. So things like that don't really allow for transparency. And just the more I talk to people, the more I see that they feel the same way. I think that there should be more conversations with our council members while they are figuring out what it is that's best for our community. So, and then after that, I feel like we should have the opportunity to speak before any voting is made. And I think a lot of that and a lot of people would feel more like our opinions mattered and feel a little bit more validated if that were the case. So that's one thing that I would really like to see change. And I know a lot of people can, agree with that. So another thing that I don't see a lot of that I would like to see more of is collaboration. And when I say that, like for an example, if a decision is made in Houston and it's going to impact more than just Houston, it's also going to impact Braselton or the county or, lots of different folks. And I think that we need to spend more time building relationships with our surrounding communities, organizations that, impact us, the Board of Education, Emergency Services, DOT. We have Highway 53 right here. So I think we need to start building more working relationships because if we work together at large, we'll be able to see what would be the best, solution for everyone instead of just your city. So I think that would be a really great step to take. Another thing that's kind of a hot topic in Jackson County altogether, but especially in Houston. So developer accountability, hot topic. So we all know how development works. They come in, develop the land, make their money, and then they're gone. And, we have to figure out a way to make them assist us in mitigating the cost of all of our, growth. They bring it to us. We'll need upgrades and expansion and maintenance. So we got to start holding them accountable for their fair share. Just an example of, poor developer accountability would be, we have two neighborhoods right here down the street, and they are literally flooding. So when there's rain, Quail Run and Deer Creek, they flood, and not just like a little bit of water. So these homeowners are having to pay out of pocket to make repairs to their property and their land. And it's just one of those where, we have rights as current property owners. So we need to make sure that our rights are being defended, just like the developers and, our newer residents, their rights are being defended. So that's important as well. Managing growth, I know that some other folks have talked on it already, but one thing that is very important with all the growth that we have coming is going to be just managing it to where it balances out. So we need a healthy mix of both residential and business, because if we're only doing residential, then we're never going to be able to pay for our city. So we need those businesses too to help, bring in extra revenue so that we can afford it. So that's something that definitely needs to be taken into consideration before we're approving. And some of it was approved by our last administration. So another big one that's a hot topic right now is city tax. So we don't currently pay a city tax, but the recent purchases that we've been doing, for instance, we are restarting our police department, and that is going to end up being a huge expense for us. Now, not that I'm against having a police department, because I'm not. I think it's great. I just don't think that we were ready to finance one. We paid $650,000 just for the rundown building and the half acre, and impact fees. They kept telling us impact fees are paying for it. Well, no, impact fees aren't paying for all of it. Only 56% could go towards the police station with our current population. And the police cruiser, it's not a considered capital improvement, so we couldn't use impact fees on that. So operations, 401ks, it's just, in my opinion, I don't think it was the right time. I think we could have spent money on many more important things, such as roads or just many, many more important things that I could think of. And one more thing is, one of your questions, Pete, I actually found pretty interesting. Let me find how it was worded real quick. I wrote it down somewhere. Okay. So paraphrasing, what can we do to allow folks to spend money here? Well, we just started up the DDA. Well, not just, but here recently started up our DDA. So I'm sure everybody here has been to Houston. We have a pretty rundown little city. So we have our DDA that's coming in, and they're going to help spruce it up. And I'm hoping to see local restaurants or, local stores. A lot of local, that would be important, but that would be to where our current residents and our upcoming residents, they have a place to spend money. Because right now we don't really have any stores or restaurants where we are bringing money back into our city. So I think the DDA is going to do really great, spruce it up, give us somewhere to go, because most of our business, everybody takes to Braselton. Braselton's got a great downtown area, some great restaurants. So instead of taking it to Braselton, I would like to see us keep it right here in Houston. So I liked that question. That was a good question. And the only other thing, going back to the city tax, is if we don't start watching what we're spending our money on, we are going to have to start paying that city tax, because we just don't have enough in our community to be able to pay for it. So those things are a lot of things that I'm worried about, and I would like to see some changes made. I'd like to have a voice at the table. I've been talking to a lot of residents, going to neighborhoods for the past couple of months, and we have some really good folks in Houston with a lot of input. So I think we need to spend a lot of time getting their input and giving everybody a voice. And that's it. Oh, you're muted.
There we go.
Oh, there you are.
Well, thank you there. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to enter in here? I will say I ended up spending a lot of time personally in Houston a couple of years ago. After some issues with the previous administration there. And I think some people really, I do want to get just your thoughts about how you would make that city in particular a welcoming place, and reassure people that have saw the name Houston in the news a lot about 3 or 4 years ago, that it is a welcoming place. It is a place that everyone is welcome to live and feel comfortable.
Right, yes. So Houston is not the same place it was 10 years ago. It's not even the same place it was 5 years ago. We have a lot of newcomers coming. We have a lot of growth going on. There's much more diverse people moving in, a lot more ethnicities moving in, and younger folks. We have a lot of new a lot of new people coming, and a lot of it is more aimed towards younger folks that I have seen. So it's just, we need to learn to embrace it and use it to our advantage, because a lot of these people have different backgrounds, different